Hi there, my name is Charlie Leslie, and in this video I will be breaking down how I created an adaptive soundtrack for one of my video game worlds. My main intention with this soundtrack was to create an emotive narrative function that mirrors the visual aspects of the game. Visually, this game world is very surreal in style, so therefore when deciding on a sonic palette for this soundtrack, I wanted to go for something synthesizer based like the genre of synthwave music, and the reason for this is that it has very strong ties to sci-fi as well as the feeling of nostalgia. All of the instrument parts are written at the same tempo of 84 beats per minute, and the reason for this is so they don't fall out of sync when they are imported into WYs, and all of the tonal parts are in the same key of A minor to avoid any sort of dissonance, as we are trying to achieve this feeling of serenity through the soundtrack. Once I had written all of the instrumental parts, I exported them as individual track stems. Any instruments that had harmonic movement were then split up into individual phrases and exported as such. Moving into WYs, these track stems were imported into the interactive music hierarchy and split into two separate playlist containers, one for the harmonic content and one for everything else in the soundtrack. This included elements like percussion and non-moving tonal layers. In the harmonic playlist container, each chord change has its own music segment. And by using the music playlist editor, I created a system that randomly selects a new music segment every 4 bars, creating a randomly resequenced harmonic system. To develop this soundtrack further, I wanted to create a sonic narrative that mirrored the progression of the player in the game, and the way that I achieved this was through reorchestration. In WYs, I created a state group where each state indicates the number of collectibles that can be obtained by a player in the game. Each state controls the volume of various music tracks within the interactive music hierarchy. The collectible objects within Unity have an AK state attached to them, and this is set so that when the player enters the trigger box of this object, the WY state will change to the correct number of collectibles obtained. The result of this is as you progress and obtain more collectibles, the number of music tracks increases, filling out the texture of the soundtrack.